President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy just had what can only be described as a complete diplomatic disaster at the White House. This was supposed to be a meeting about US support for Ukraine, possibly a minerals deal, and at least in theory, some kind of discussion about ending the war with Russia. But instead, it turned into an absolute embarrassment, with Trump lecturing Zelenskyy, calling him ungrateful, and unbelievably all but blaming Ukraine for the war continuing. And if you're thinking, wait, Trump is siding with Putin on this? Then congratulations, you've been paying attention.
The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either gonna make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's gonna be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the President of the United States, talking down to the leader of a country literally fighting for its survival against an authoritarian invasion. And look, let's be clear, this is exactly what Trump has always wanted. He's been cozying up to Putin since day one. He froze military aid to Ukraine in 2019, which, by the way, led to his first impeachment. And now, with Russia still waging war, he wants to pressure Ukraine into giving up territory without any security guarantees. That's not negotiating peace, that's handing Putin a victory on a silver platter. Democrats obviously are not having it. Senator Amy Klobuchar called out Trump's absurd criticism, saying Zelenskyy has been nothing but grateful and that we should be thanking him for standing up to a dictator. Others pointed out the obvious, that Trump's real loyalty has never been to democracy or our allies, but to authoritarians like Putin. And by the way, that's not hyperbole.
All the people you've sat across from and negotiated with, is President Putin distinct in any way?
He's a very smart guy. He's a very cunning person.
Yeah, very smart. This is the guy Trump is working to help at the expense of both Ukraine and our own global leadership. But the real kicker, it wasn't just Trump in the room. It was also Vice President JD Vance who chimed in to pile on Zelenskyy. So if anyone was still wondering what kind of foreign policy this second Trump term looks like, well, this is it. Meanwhile, Europe is watching this in horror. French President Emmanuel Macron and EU leaders reaffirmed their support for Ukraine almost immediately after the meeting fell apart, because they see what's happening. With Trump in office, the United States is not a reliable ally anymore, which, by the way, is exactly what Putin wants. Trump has already said he'd let Russia attack NATO allies if they don't pay their dues. So just think about the message this sends to our allies, not just in Europe, but across the world. If you're a democracy under threat, don't count on America with Trump in charge. And if you're Vladimir Putin, it's Christmas morning. Look, this isn't just about Ukraine. This is about the United States choosing democracy or choosing authoritarianism. Zelenskyy is standing up to Putin because he has no choice. His country is literally under attack. But we still have a choice, and that choice comes in 2026. Right now, Trump has no real check on his power because Republicans control Congress, but that can change in the midterms. If we take back the House and maybe even flip the Senate, we can stop Trump's most extreme policies, hold him accountable, and ensure that American democracy survives. So start now. Support candidates who will fight for democracy. Register to vote. Get involved. Because if we don't, we already know exactly what Trump will do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. And as always, thanks for watching.